Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Satitra. I am the owner of K's Natural Cleaning, and I provide cleaning services in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I provide green cleaning. I also make my own green cleaning products, and I also create cleaning motivational videos and some BTS moments. And if those are things that interest you, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up and stick around for more. Now I really want to talk about this one because I think a lot of people get shocked, but you do not have to accept every customer. When I talked about this before, when I first had my team, they were shocked, oh my gosh, you don't have to. Yeah, I've walked away from customers. I've also not accepted customers after going to consultations. I mean, you just gotta know what type of client you potentially might be dealing with. And I say this because so let me just tell you about my experience where I had to kind of walk away from accepting a client and a potential customer. Not only was this customer pretty far away, I get to her home, I do my consultation, and all she did was just nag about the last cleaner. Now don't get me wrong, I know there can be some bad cleaners, but now there was just not one, there was two of them, and I think she'd been through a couple different cleaners. Now yes, there can be some bad cleaners, but how do you identify that? I know you guys want to know, how do you identify if someone is just very picky and probably just looking for stuff? You ask them certain questions. One of the things I like to ask them is, was that on their contract? You know, for example, the girl just kept complaining about her last cleaner. She didn't do this, she didn't get under the furniture, she didn't get under my couch, she didn't get under my fireplace, she didn't take my stuff down and wipe off the bookshelf. Now, I don't take down people's stuff, and I don't, I just I let them know, I just kind of dust around. I don't take everything down. If again, this is something you want to talk about in your consultations, or you can just make sure that this is on your site or in the quotes. Hey, if you want your bookcase completely wiped down, you can let them know you must have your stuff down so that we can wipe it down. Some cleaners will take things down and do it, but for me, I feel like I usually would just ask them, hey, if you want this and that done. For example, if you want your refrigerator cleaned out, I usually will ask my customers to have everything taken out of the refrigerator first, because that cuts down on the time and makes it also cheaper for them, because the longer that I'm there for refrigerator cleaning, I do start adding on how long we'll be there. So I'll say the first hour is this much of the refrigerator cleaning, because this is an additional project, and if I'm there for an additional hour, it's $5 an extra hour, $5 an hour, so whatever. So it starts racking up. So yeah, you can ask your customers to do this stuff. But this girl, after asking her about was that on the contract, she actually really never did say if it was. She just kind of well, I told her, so therefore I don't really even know it was that on their contract. Or on top of that, what she was paying, I think she was paying them hourly, and also their rates was way lower than mine. So what I assume is that this cleaner probably came in, didn't know that it was going to be such a picky person to work for, and then they have such a low price. So they probably oh my gosh, I have to do all this and that, and then not make nothing, and then try to make it out to get home to their families. I don't know. So you will start to notice certain customers. I think at one time she pulled up her stove knob and was yeah, she didn't pull the knobs off the stove again. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't know that people do that, take the knobs off stoves to wipe under. I mean, I didn't actually know that you could do that. It was something new for me. So now I noticed that I had another customer where I went to consultation, and she actually told me politely, said, yeah, just these come off, so you could just take these off and wipe under them. Cool, I'm okay with that. But again, the last lady, she didn't really say if that was on that lady's or the last cleaner's contract, so she could have been just throwing these extra stuff at the people after they already made their price quote, after they already made a contract. And then to me it also seemed like at this point I could tell that she wasn't really paying too much attention to the quality of the work. She was looking to see what they missed, what they did wrong. And I just knew, like, I don't have time to be messing up my reputation for somebody who's just gonna nitpick and nitpick and nitpick. No. So, and especially, and if you do get and run into customers like that, rack up that price. You want all this done, and you want to be on top of that extra picky and naggy. Okay, so this is how much it's going to cost you. 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna want to pay that. Turns out she didn't want to pay that price, so I didn't really have to turn her down. She ended up turning me down, and I was totally okay with that. And if she would have wanted me, I honestly, I didn't want to go clean there, because I just, again, I could tell that, like, this was somebody who was just going to constantly complain, and no. So I say that because you can tell to, like, nothing you do is going to make this type of person happy, and that is what I could tell. But I wanted to help her out. I was like, oh my gosh, I will hook this home up. I was like excited. Her home was beautiful, but it was just like little things that she just kept picking on. It's kind of like if you get an employee and they start nagging and ragging on the last job, are you going to accept that person? Not really. Now, I've had customers complain about cleaners before me, but they never really, it wasn't as intense. It wasn't like, oh, this and that and this and that. I mean, yeah, so you don't have to accept every customer. And if you run into customers like that, 9 times out of 10, they are somebody that is going to be very hard to please. And it's up to your discretion if you want to accept them or not. But just know that it may be hard, and there's a chance they could leave you a bad review. Let's see. So we talked about how to identify them. Let me get there. Also, okay, so what to do if a customer do complain. Honestly, this is just really simple. You apologize and just make sure it doesn't happen again. I've had where I had a staff member help me out when I had surgery, and then my customer left me a note twice and was like, this didn't get clean or that didn't happen, and I simply just made sure that it didn't happen again. And I spoke to my team member, and I just made sure that every time I go there. So that's another thing. If your customers seem really happy and let you know, oh my gosh, my home was really clean, stick to that routine that you've already done. Don't try to change nothing. Don't try to skip nothing. Just stick to that, because they like whatever you've done. So I know some people have like that will come clean and guarantee will come back. Like, I think my mom might do that, where like if there's complaint or whatever, she might go back and she'll clean up again, and she'll do it for free. I feel like when you do that, you're kind of encouraging them to want to keep finding things so they can get their money back. So I just apologize and just make sure it don't happen again. And if they decide they don't want me anymore after that, then, you know, well, it's bad for me, but I just move on. You know, I'll get a new customer who might be extremely happy, and also, again, because, you know, just let them know you were truly sorry that happened and move on. Let's see. Oh yeah, so some clients and customers have these expectations that of what a cleaner is or what they do. You know how I mentioned, like, I've had someone call me and I didn't actually like see or come to the home first. It kind of seemed like it was urgent, but I've done that actually twice, where like one time I went to a girl's house. She seemed really nice and she really needed it urgently. When I got there, it was like a mess. Like, it needed organizing, and I don't judge. I mean, I'm a cleaner, so my job is not to judge. My job is to be there to help and support them so that they can get back their time. But it was just, again, I ended up, me and my friend ended up helping her out anyways and just cleaning up. But it was just difficult, because some clients have this expectation that you're there to like pick up all their clothes off the floor and their mail and their trash, and you know, like trash, yeah, you could pick that up, go ahead, but like how do you identify if everything is trash when there's a bunch of stuff they have all over the floor? So again, this is why you want to go see the homes before you just give them a quote over, you know what I'm saying? Because, and that way you can tell them like, you know, this is kind of what we do and this is what we don't really do. And if you want organizing, it's going to cost this much. So I do offer organizing, but when I went over there kind of unexpecting that type of work, so I wasn't prepared for it. You know, organizing is, you want to prepare for that because you might want to say, hey, you're going to need such in labels or baskets or this and that. And like this lady, she was kind of like overwhelmed by her own stuff, and you could tell she didn't even know what to do with her own things or where to put it. But we ended up just helping her out anyways. But it's kind of difficult to do that type of work just walking into it because you don't know where their things belong. So, and you didn't do a consultation at first to kind of get an idea of where things can go or what they might need in order to straighten and organize it. So that's more like organized work versus like, you know, cleaning. So some people have these expectations that when you coming in, you're going to be picking up all their stuff. I've also ran into a customer who tested her last cleaner. Again, this is one of those customers where I had to kind of like, I was a little bit hesitant because she told me how she put something on the floor just to see if the cleaner would pick it up. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, so those are kind of things that, you know, like I said, this is why consultations are so important, because you learn a lot about who you might be working for and what kind of things they might be doing. Some people like to test and see what you're going to do. Some people might even leave things around just to see if it's going to be stolen. So I don't touch nobody. That's why I don't really like to touch nobody's stuff. That's why I don't like to move nobody's stuff, to be honest with you, because I don't want to hear, oh, such and such is missing. I'm not doing that. So that's why I just kind of have like a standard quote. I make sure everything that what I'm going to do is in the paperwork. But again, I mean, like if it's a piece of tissue that she put on the floor, yeah, of course I'll pick it up. But apparently the last cleaner didn't do that, and she didn't know that old girl was testing to see if she would do it. So kind of sucks. But those are some of the things that you might run into. And I've also heard like customers say that like her last cleaner did steal some jewelry from her. And this is why I do background checks on all my team members and stuff like that, because I don't want that to affect my company. You know, I want to make sure I do my due diligence first. But again, you know, I feel like it's easier to avoid any of that accusations, whether someone did or didn't, if you don't necessarily have to move all their items. So I like to, like, if there's things that's easy to like lift up, like, I mean, pictures or frames and stuff, I just lift it up, wipe and stuff. But if it's a whole ton of stuff and there's jewelry around and all kinds of stuff, I don't really like to touch or move people's stuff like that, because I feel like they're valuable items and it wasn't in the contract. So now we're going to talk about so move in and move out cleanings. These are the best. This is where I make the most of my money. I love move in, move out cleanings, not just because of the money, but one, usually like, especially like move-ins, actually even move outs, a lot of times they're empty homes. So I get to work alone. I get to play my music and jam. Actually, I've been wanting to film, do a recording of me doing a move in, move out cleaning, but I haven't got a chance. I love the transformation of like preparing a home for the new owners, or whatever it is that they need, or if someone's moving into the home, and I had one like that where like the fridge was really dirty, had a lot of juice and stuff spilled in there and stuff. So it was really nice to be able to just transform all of that for the new owners. But I also, like, one time I had to do like carpet cleaning. So move in, move out cleanings do take the longest. Let me see. I like to have at least 3 people when I do this, do move in, move out cleanings, because you're going to be getting everything. You're going to be getting inside and out the cabinets, the oven, the fridge, the window sills. They might want the outside of windows done, but typically outside windows, I feel like that's more for a window specialist. So I usually let them know, like, we'll do the inside of the windows. But especially because, like, I don't really have like a tall ladder for me to like do outside work like that. You know, people have big homes. And then also some people might want carpet cleaning, so that might take time. A lot of times move in, move out cleanings, they take about 8 to 12 hours to do. So yeah, it's the big money. That I do charge a flat rate. I was doing hourly, but now I just do a flat rate, and I just think about like the potential hours. So I do a minimum of 8 hours in my head. Like, I don't actually put that down, but I do let them know, like, in the quote, it's possible that we could be there from 8 to 12 hours. We might need more than one day to do this cleaning. So if they're looking to move in, you want to ask them, how soon are you looking to move, or how soon are you looking to move in, because we might need more than one day. Actually, not minimum, my maximum is 8 hours in one day, because I feel like that's enough for someone to be there cleaning. But I actually like to try to be out of everybody's home no more than 4 hours. Like, I try to be 4 hours is like where I'm done, like exhausted. But I will work longer than that if I need to. I just feel like that's my idea. That's why, like, I like to think about how many people I might need. Like, say, like, I know that it might take this long, but I really want to be out of here by this time. So how many people is it going to take for me to do that? So those are things to just kind of think about. So you are gonna start to get to know your customers, what type of customers you might have. There are some customers that might pre-clean before you get there, and then there are some customers that just like won't do nothing until the cleaner get there. So sometimes every time you get there, it's still gonna be long if they don't do pre-cleanings. I do have some customers like that are like just really busy. They might be like entrepreneurs or both work in entrepreneurship. So I have some customers that just don't have like the time, and so they get home, they do what they gotta do, and they're out. It's kind of the same amount of work, same amount of hours every time. Then you have some of those customers that do pre-cleaning. Like, I have a couple customers that do some of the work too. So when I come, I'm not spending so much time there all the time. And those are really nice. But it's not always the same time. Like, sometimes I might be there for 2 hours, I might be there for 3 hours, and if they didn't pre-clean, I might be there for 4 hours. And of course, like your monthly cleanings, those are also going to take the longest, and I usually charge more for monthly cleanings, just because it's a lot more build up dirt from, you know, the time that it hasn't been cleaned. But once you are going to customers' houses like weekly or bi-weekly, you will start to see that the difference. It will start to be less dusty, obviously, but it's really nice. And I usually will let my customers know that, like, one of my recent new customers, we weren't able to get upstairs because we were there for a little bit longer than expected. So I just let them know, like, it's just taking a little bit longer because it's your first cleaning and there was a lot of dust buildup, since they haven't had a cleaner over there in such a long time. And then I told them, but once we do get upstairs and once we come back, maybe after like your first 3 cleanings, it'll be a lot faster. And you know what I mean? Because it'll just be kind of like, and we're out. So it gets better after you get all the build up dust. And let me see, I think this is all I have so far. If you feel like you have any questions or if I left anything out, please, I'm open up for suggestions or any questions that you might have. Leave them in the comments. I'm telling you what I've learned. I don't know everything. I'm not a super expert or anything like that. I've just learned from working and doing my own thing and been in the business for over a year now. So if you have any questions, or if you're trying to network and you need a mentor and you're looking to start up, I mean, you could even network under my page and reach out to see if there's any other cleaners who's starting and you looking for a business bestie or you know, some help, some guidance. Feel free to reach out to someone who has experience and who is a cleaner, a professional cleaner. I like to reach out to people in the same field versus someone who's just a business coach and not in the same field. But I mean, honestly, a business coach could probably help you as well. But please network. I don't have any big commercial clients, so I can't really share any information on like how to bid to get commercial clients. That was something that I have been looking into, but then again, like COVID-19 kind of happened and just mentally draining, to be honest with you. I'll get there pretty soon, but again, like, I'm not going to get into that unless I know that I have enough people to be able to help me, because otherwise it's pointless to try to get a big commercial client with no one. So but just look on Google, do some research if you are looking to do that, or reach out again to some other people who are already in the business and who does commercial. You know, like, I've had a couple churches that I've done, and they're actually reached out to me and found me. One found me on Google, and one was a church that we go to. So that's all I have. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope that this video was very informative and helpful. Yeah, if you want, just ask and I will respond. And don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.